what I'd really like is your impressions of what you saw this morning flying in that Aero helicopter over the Westside gravel pit. And perhaps, Stuart, since a lot of the controversy over this initiative began with you, perhaps you could start us off.
Well, it was just the sheer size of it and the close proximity to residential housing on the other side of the river. You could see from the air just how narrow the strip of tall timber is. They're saying it's 160 metres wide. It's quite obviously only about 40 metres wide. And when you see the size and the industrial scale of it, and there is visible other gravel pits within the area, and I understand Interroute have one close to one of the other gravel pits, so they do have an alternate source of gravel.
Antoinette, you've brought this up at council, and it's been, I think, part of your attempt to get this shut down was unsuccessful. What's your impression having seen this? I mean, it's one thing to see it from the ground, or a piece of it from the ground, or a photograph from, say, Stuart's backyard, but having flown over it, what do you think of it? And in particular, I'd like your comments on Interroute's alleged ability to rehabilitate the site.
First of all, flying over it gives you a way different reality than maps do. It's way, way, way closer to Columbia Park than I ever thought it was. The point Stuart was making about the tree buffer, about 40 meters is the narrowest section of tree buffer, and the widest section, there's one little part that's wider, maybe 75 meters wide, nowhere close to what Interroute said it was. As for, what was your main question there?
Rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation. We did fly over an old gravel pit that's next to the other helicopter pad out there, and it's a little bit like desert scrub. Now, I don't know how long it's been trying to grow for, but there's not much vegetation there. That's it for now.
Okay, Peter, you and I have talked about this, and I know that you're concerned about. Just wait for that vehicle to leave. I know that you're concerned about housing and development in the years to come here, and you see a really prime tract of land like that essentially taken out of circulation forever. That's, at least that's my thought. Is that what I say? If I were to say that was your thought as well, I'd be accurate?
Yeah, that's very accurate. Dust and noise is an issue for our neighborhood, but I think if we're just thinking about ourselves, it could be possibly, well, not relevant, but to give up that prime piece of ground like that for a gravel pit, and how it went through with us as neighbors knowing about it. It was cleared, and before we even had a chance to dispute it or whatever, now it's coming to light, and I would like to know how it got that far, and at one point when the city administrator was quoted in the paper that he didn't figure it not important, and that's what troubles me. And it's very important. It's not only not important to the people that are close to us, it's the whole population, the 8,000 people. How does that affect us? That's what my biggest concern is.
Final question for the three of you, and you can answer or not as you see fit. Is this something that we need in our community, or should we oppose this?
We obviously need gravel pits here. We need aggregates. But when there is an alternate source of supply just 1 or 2 kilometers away, we don't need it to be that close to private residences.
Okay. Antoinette?
I would prefer the gravel pits to be where the other ones are, which is way further away from residences.
Okay. Peter?
Yeah, also, if there is gravel available elsewhere, and I think the government could probably look for different sources for these people, you know, but I would like to make one comment by flying through that area, and that it looks like they run a professional operation there, the way they're loading and so on. And they did talk to us, they're going to control the dust and so on, which is a lot more that's been said so far. But whether they would have done it without us pushing this issue, but they seem to be running a pretty good, smooth operation as far as gravel pit, just from my observation.
But it'll still leave scars in the land for our lifetimes.
And that'll never be
And our
fixed,
children's
you know,
lifetimes too.
It's
Okay.
designated in the OCP as future growth area.
That's
part
right.
of it's future growth, and part of it's, I forget what the other. It crosses over two designations, and while that part of town hasn't really been, or part of our area hasn't been, the maps haven't been thoroughly finalized yet for the OCP. I don't see how any future growth can take place.
That's right.
After that operation.
Thank you very much.